in the gardens of the soul, where thoughts bloom like midnight flowers, there dwells a presence as ancient as consciousness itself, like wind moving through empty chambers. Anxiety walks the corridors of every heart, touching both the shepherd in his fields and the queen upon her throne. What is this force that moves through human spirits, like waves upon a shoreless sea, in the silence between heartbeats? It whispers of tomorrow's uncertainties in the spaces between breaths. It paints visions of what might be. Yet within its storm lies a sacred truth, for anxiety is not merely the shadow of fear, but the echo of a heart so vast. It tries to hold tomorrow in today's vessel. The mystics of old spoke of this condition not as an ailment to be cured, but as a song the soul sings when it yearns for greater depths. They understood that in the chamber of every worried heart lies a hidden doorway to wisdom. For who among us has touched the heights of love without knowing the depths of care? Who has created beauty without first feeling the trembling of uncertainty? Tonight, we shall walk together through these ancient corridors of understanding, where every racing thought carries a secret, and every moment of unrest holds a pearl of wisdom waiting to be discovered. Like birds that sense the approaching storm, our bodies carry wisdom deeper than thought. Anxiety moves through the chambers of being, touching first the edges of our awareness, then deeper into the very temple of our existence. What are these shadows that dance across consciousness, if not the soul's attempt to speak its truth? They come not as enemies, but as messengers bearing sealed letters, written in the language of sensation and feeling. Each racing thought, each quickened breath, carries fragments of a story seeking to be heard. In the marketplace of daily life, we name these sensations disorder. Yet the wise ones of ancient days saw them differently. They understood that the trembling heart speaks a tongue as old as existence, that the restless mind draws maps to buried treasures, waiting to be discovered in the depths of our being. When anxiety circles like winds in an empty courtyard, it asks not for battle, but for understanding. For in its essence, it is the movement of life itself, the stirring of depths too profound for words, the awakening of sensitivities too fine for common speech. Before words were written, before before temples were built, there was breath. In the space between inhale and exhale lies a wisdom older than mountains, a rhythm that has moved through all living beings since the first dawn of consciousness. The breath holds secrets passed down through generations of beings. It knows the way of balance, as naturally as rivers know their course to the sea. When anxiety rises like mist in the valley of being, the breath remains, constant as the North Star, patient as the ancient stones. In the chambers of the lungs, a great alchemy unfolds, transforming not just air, but the very nature of our existence. Each breath draws forth life from the invisible. Each exhale releases what no longer serves. In this eternal dance, we find the first key to liberation. Through the ages, the wise ones whispered that peace is not the absence of storm, but the discovery of rhythm within movement. They taught that within each breath lies a doorway through which anxiety transforms, not into nothingness, but into deeper understanding. The breath moves like wind through the branches of being, touching each leaf of sensation, each flower of thought, reminding all it touches of its original nature. In the vast gardens of consciousness, thoughts grow like plants seeking light. Some spring forth as thorns, others as healing herbs. Yet each has its purpose, its season, its wisdom to impart. The anxious mind is not a barren field, but rather an overabundant garden where every seed of thought sprouts with intense vitality. Such fertility of imagination, such quickness of perception. These are not curses, but powers awaiting their proper direction. Consider how a single thought, planted in the soil of consciousness, can grow into a forest of concerns. Yet these same waters that feed our fears, when channeled with wisdom, can nourish gardens of extraordinary understanding, creativity, and insight. The gardener does not battle with the abundance of their garden. They learn its ways, its seasons, its needs. So too must we tend the gardens of our minds, not with the harsh tools of judgment, but with the gentle wisdom of acceptance and understanding. In the heart of every mountain there flows a river that knows not resistance. When it meets a boulder, it does not fight, but flows around. When it finds a cliff, it does not hesitate, but transforms into falling waters. Consider how water, soft and yielding, shapes the hardest stone. So too does acceptance shape the landscape of anxiety, not through force or battle, but through the wisdom of flowing, of yielding, of continuing on its destined path. The river teaches us that strength lies not in standing rigid, but in remaining fluid within life's channels. For what is anxiety but a river of feeling, seeking its path to the sea? It asks not to be dammed or diverted, but to be allowed its natural course. And see how the river never questions its worth, never doubts its direction. It simply flows, carrying both fallen leaves and starlight upon its surface. In this lies profound wisdom that all states of being, all movements of soul, are but water taking different forms. The body speaks in a language more ancient than words, in rhythms older than thought. Its wisdom flows through vessels of blood and nerve, carrying messages from depths where consciousness rarely ventures. When anxiety moves through the temple of flesh, it awakens every sleeping cell, quickens every dormant fiber. Yet in this awakening lies not just disturbance, but a heightened awareness, a sensitivity that connects us to life's subtlest currents. The racing heart, the quickened breath, the trembling hands. These are not mere symptoms to be silenced. They are the body's ancient prayer, its attempt to speak of matters too profound for ordinary speech, too immediate for casual understanding. The body is the shore where the ocean of spirit meets the earth of existence. Upon this shore, every wave of feeling leaves its mark. Every tide of emotion tells its story. And in learning to read these marks, we discover maps to territories of wisdom. In the end, the body asks not for perfection, but for listening. For in its humble temple of bone and breath lies an intelligence that remembers what the mind has forgotten and knows what the heart has yet to learn. When darkness falls upon the world, the stars reveal their ancient light. So too in the darkness of anxiety, do distant truths become visible, truths that daylight's certainty often obscures. Consider how the night sky holds both emptiness and infinite presence. In its vast expanse, galaxies spiral, stars pulse, planets dance their eternal orbits. Yet to our eyes, it appears as gentle points of light upon darkness, teaching us that magnitude need not overwhelm. The astronomers of old found their way by learning to read these lights. They understood that what appears as chaos holds perfect order. What seems as endless darkness cradles infinite light. So too does anxiety hold its own constellations of meaning, its own guidelines toward understanding. In the depth of night, when sleep eludes and thoughts swirl like cosmic dust, remember this wisdom. Even the darkest sky is still a road of light. For every star that shivers in the heavens mirrors a point of consciousness within, waiting to guide us home. Like a wandering bird that finds its way back to familiar branches, consciousness always returns to its center. This is the great cycle, not a straight path to permanent peace, but a spiral dance of leaving and returning. The journey with anxiety teaches us this eternal truth. There is no final destination, no ultimate arrival. There is only the graceful art of returning, again and again, to the quiet center that awaits within. Each return carries new wisdom, like a traveler bringing back stories from distant lands. We begin to understand that our wanderings, our moments of unrest, were not meaningless detours, but necessary paths of discovery. Through each cycle of departure and return, we learn to trust more deeply, to hold more gently, to understand more fully. For in the end, anxiety is not a wilderness to be conquered, but a landscape that teaches us the infinite ways of coming home. As night flows softly into dawn, so does every state of being flow into its opposite. This is the great teaching. Nothing remains forever, neither the storms of anxiety, nor the calms between them. In the garden of existence, flowers of peace and thorns of worry grow side by side. They share the same soil, drink the same rain, reach for the same sun. Each has its season, its purpose, its place in the great tapestry of being. Time, the great healer, moves like wind through the branches of experience. It carries away what is finished, brings forth what is beginning, teaches us that every ending holds the seeds of new understanding. The wise ones say, the heart that has known troubled waters grows deeper than one that has known only calm seas. Through anxiety's storms, we discover depths of strength, heights of understanding, breadths of compassion we might never have known. And so, as our journey together draws to a close, remember this eternal truth. You are not your anxiety, nor are you its opposite. You are the vast sky through which all weathers pass, the deep ocean that holds all tides, the eternal witness to every changing state. Rest now in this knowing, like a leaf floating gently upon the infinite stream of being, carried always, inevitably, toward greater peace.